Submission triangle. I was very active with my feet on my opponent's hips, trying to push, trying to create space. He was trying to close that space down, close my legs to stop him being as powerful. But by doing that, he was overexposing himself. I'd wrapped up the mirror lock, which is basically an arm lock, putting loads of pressure on that to then allow his body to turn to set up that triangle, the leg to go over the top and get that figure four and then lead into the triangle. My opponent dropped a few elbows, resulting in a cut to my eye, a couple of punches, but each shot that he was delivering to my face was sinking him further and further into the choke.
All right, we'll take our next question from Dan Doherty with Cage Side Press. Your line is open.
Hey, Paul, congratulations. Just first thing, when will these guys learn not to take you down?
I said it for a long time. Like, if you take me down, it's a very, very dangerous place for me. I enjoy being in my back, and this opponent was kind of designed for us, if you will. His striking was very, very wild, and he was very good at wrestling, and it would always result in him taking me down. By him taking me down, it resulted in us getting into this jiu-jitsu scramble, where I believe that I'm very experienced in the areas. I am a brown belt, but in MMA, belts don't really mean much. You need to be actually using jiu-jitsu, and I use it very, very well, I think, for
anything. And you talked about it before. Where does that composure come from when you're getting hit while you're trying to lock up that triangle?
It comes through drilling. We drill punching when it's stand-up in boxing, and we do it the same when it's kickboxing or MMA sparring. I do the same thing when I'm in jiu-jitsu. If there's an opportunity to punch, when we're doing, call it jiu-jitsu hits, so we'll be doing jiu-jitsu and my opponent will be looking to hit, so I know where these shots are coming from. With regards to jiu-jitsu, if you are looking to land big, heavy shots, it opens you up. It's a lot of submissions, and you've seen that by overreaching with a punch to try and land in the face. It sets up a nice triangle. I've shown it in previous fights against Magomedov Ankalaev, where I got the same triangle submission, but it's through him overreaching with a punch to the head.
And there was a little dust up at the weigh-ins before this fight. Was that on your mind at all? Did that give you any more motivation?
You know, I like to get in my opponent's face. I'm not even getting in his face. It's not out of disrespect. It's out of more the pageantry of MMA. As well as us being athletes, it's still an entertainment sport, and I enjoy seeing what they act and how their emotions deal with in this situation. So by me encroaching into his space, in his personal space, his reaction was to push back, and I kind of expected that. It did result in me taking a hat to in between the eyes, which wasn't that great, but I enjoyed it. As I said, I enjoyed that pageantry.
I love it. And last question for me: who are you looking at next, and when do you want to get back in there?
There's a fight that's going ahead just now, and I would love to fight the winner because I believe the winner is going to be Shogun Rua. I believe I've got a draw on my record, and I believe it could be rectified if I had a full fight camp, if I was 100% in the conditioning as well as the tactic end of a fight. But also, when I say I feel like I could do much better with a full fight camp, it's the same for Shogun Rua. He didn't get the opportunity to have a full fight camp for myself. We each had 2 weeks' notice, and he had to then come up with a game plan. Although he may have been fitter, he had a game plan for a very different opponent to himself. So it was unfair in him, and it was unfair in myself. I want to fight him out of respect. He's one of the greatest of all time within the division. And for me, it's a massive name. I enjoy sharing it.
All right, thanks, Paul.
We'll go next to Jim Varsalone with the Miami Herald. Your line is open.
Paul, congratulations. What was it like being in this event, being part of Fight Island, and just going through any changes and differences of being there before the fight, the time changes, just all the different things, and no crowd?
There was a number of different challenges, if you will, that Fight Island brought. When I first heard of the Fight Island and it was getting released and all these sort of rumours, it's like, that would be amazing. This world come hopefully is in a pandemic, and to give people who enjoy MMA something back and try and be able to fight them and show them that not everything is as bad as it seems, and there's light at the end of this. UFC Abu Dhabi did that by setting up this island, making it purpose-built. They've cordoned everything off, quarantining us, all this kind of stuff, and make it as safe as possible for all the people involved. That in itself, like, I take my hat off to them, and it's my job, and I'm so happy to be involved with UFC and to be in Abu Dhabi's Fight Island. The other challenges that we brought in here was we'd never ever fought in anything like the heat of Abu Dhabi before. So we had to do a lot of heat training. So by spending long periods of time in a hot climate, when I'm saying the hot climate, it's pretty much done within at a 40-degree heat to try and like get me to adapt to that heat. So we did that. UFC themselves provide a lot of support with regards to sleep patterns, with regards to nutrition. PI themselves guys are amazing and support all the athletes within the UFC. Because what they're looking for is they're looking to have all the UFC fighters able to best show themselves as a fighter. Another bit of an issue was quarantine. Spending days in London, we had to spend in self-isolation, and the same again to Abu Dhabi. It's not nice being stuck in a room yourself. When I say that, there's worse places you could be. There's much worse circumstances that you could be. And for me, it sounds like a moaning to be stuck in a room. And although it's unpleasant, like the world's so much harder out there than being stuck in a room for 2 days in Abu Dhabi.
It's almost like the gladiators. You're all warriors, gladiators. You're there, brought in, and it's like, okay, we're not letting anybody out until it's really ready to fight, or the press conference when you have to do the weigh-in. So it's such a different dynamic. It's almost like olden days, way old, golden days of early fighting and all. It's such a change, but such a great experience too for all. I'm wondering now. I believe four of your past victories, you won 2 of your last 3, one was a draw, and then 4 of your past victories have been by the submission. And is that just something that you've always specialized in submission, in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and submission? Was that always a thing for you, or is that something that you learned along the way?
When I first started undertaking any sort of combat sport, it was Jiu-Jitsu I first started with. So I learned, that's what I was open to. And from learning Jiu-Jitsu, that then led to me finding this love for competing in Jiu-Jitsu. Once MMA itself's done, and once my body is unable to fulfill its need in the world of MMA, like taking shots or I'm not able to kick or punch as well, Jiu-Jitsu is always going to be there for me. That's the martial art, if you will, whereas MMA is all combined. My martial art is Jiu-Jitsu. A lot of people just refer to me as he's just a Jiu-Jitsu guy, he's just a Jits guy. And I'm happy with that because that is the thing that I enjoy the most. I enjoy the most going into the gym more than just being like in that moment of Jiu-Jitsu where anything can happen. You can get submitted or you can then find yourself in a really difficult position and find ways to get out. It's like a game of physical chess.
Thank you.
We'll go next to Kamal Abdul Rahman. Your line is open.
First of all, congratulations on the win, Craig. I just wanted to, first of all, get your impression about Abu Dhabi, with Abu Dhabi being a huge jiu-jitsu town. Jiu-jitsu has a very huge fan base here in Abu Dhabi. Everyone supports jiu-jitsu. And, with your wins coming by submission, you've got 12 wins in submissions. You coming in and pulling off the submission in the first round, what does that feel for you?
As you're saying, Abu Dhabi is the capital of Jiu-Jitsu. And I was very, very lucky enough to compete in the Worlds going back, it must have been about 6 years ago here, as a heavyweight. Same again, the experience and the love I felt at that time, having the opportunity to be here, was amazing. And to have a submission in this current climate, you know, is amazing. There's people who are unable to fight. There's people who are not getting the opportunity to fight. I'm one of the guys who have been able to fight, been able to train, been able to get out here, get a victory, and it's in my favourite discipline. One of my favourite moves is the triangle.
Great. And for a moment there, he was landing some heavy punches while you were cinching up the triangle. Did you think about maybe transitioning to maybe an armbar or an omoplata, or were you just locked in on a triangle and you wanted to make a point by landing the triangle?
Yeah, triangle is one of my favourite moves, and I find it so much easier to do I use a triangle as a submission, whereas I use a move with my plata as a transition. I use that to get into another position, as I don't really like to finish there with my plata. I find it's like if someone's powerful, they can just explode out of it. Whereas I like to use it with my plata to get them into like a turtle kind of position. Whereas I had that opportunity to have that submission, and that was the reason I took it. It wasn't my dominant side, where if I am playing a triangle, it's not the side I would normally use. You've seen it at the start of that whole transition. I tried to go for the other side, was unsuccessful, which led me to take the non-dominant side, but still resulted in a triangle. Still drill both sides of the triangle, I just have a preferred side.